The office was silent. Only one voice was loud. Mr. Kane shouted, "Daniel, come here. Right now." Daniel walked in, holding a tray of tea and files. His hands shook. The cups on the tray made a soft clinking sound. Everyone in the big fancy office turned to look. One cup had a small crack. A drop of tea had spilled on Mr. Kane's glass table. Mr. Kane stood up from his leather chair. His suit was sharp. His watch was expensive. His eyes were cold. "Mr. Kane, what is this mess?" Daniel softly, "I'm sorry, sir. I slipped a little. I'll clean it." Mr. Kane slapped the tray out of his hands. Cups fell. Tea spilled everywhere. The sound echoed in the room. "Do you know how much this table costs?" Mr. Kane shouted. "Your whole life is cheaper than this table." Daniel's eyes filled with tears. He bent down quickly to pick up the broken pieces. His fingers shook. One piece cut his finger. A drop of blood mixed with the tea on the floor. Everyone watched. No one spoke. Mr. Kane pointed at the door. "You're fired. Get out," he said. "Right now." Daniel froze. Sir, please. I really need this job. My mother is sick. I'm paying for her medicine. Please don't do this." Mr. Kane laughed. "Your problems are not my problem. People like you are replaceable. Leave your ID. Security. If you were standing there, would you speak up? Or would you also stay quiet and just watch?" Security walked in. They took Daniel's office ID from his neck. One guard grabbed his arm. Daniel looked around the office. No one met his eyes. Some looked away. Some pretended to work. He whispered, "Please, sir. Just one more chance." Mr. Kane turned his back and said, "Throw him out." As the guards pulled Daniel out of the shiny glass building, he had no idea. One day, this same man would open the car door for him and say, "Where to, sir?" It was a normal day for Daniel. He was the poor office boy. He made tea. He brought files. He cleaned tables. He came early before everyone. He left late after everyone. He lived in a small room with his mother and younger sister, Mia. The room had one bed, one small fan, and a leaky window. That morning, he had skipped breakfast. He wanted to save money for his mother's medicine. In the rich office, everything was the opposite. Shiny marble floors. Big glass walls. People in suits. Laptops on every desk. On the top floor was Mr. Kane's cabin. He was the rich, powerful boss. He liked people to fear him. When Daniel spilled that little bit of tea, it was like Mr. Kane had been waiting for a reason. "Mr. Kane, you can't even carry a tray? That's the only thing you are paid for." "Daniel, I'm really sorry, sir. It won't happen again." Mr. Kane smirked. "You are right. It won't happen again. Because you won't be here." His words hit Daniel like a slap. The whole office watched. One girl in the corner, Grace, looked worried. She took a small step forward, then stopped. Fear held her back. She needed this job too. Daniel tried again. "Sir, I send money home. My mom, she's very sick. I will clean the table. Take money from my salary for the damage. But please don't fire me." Mr. Kane walked close to him. Their faces were very near now. He spoke in a low, cruel voice. "Listen carefully," he said. "Your mother's sickness is not my problem. This is a rich company. I don't keep trash here." The words cut deeper than the glass in Daniel's finger. His eyes filled more. His throat felt tight. He stared at the floor because he was too ashamed to look at anyone. Security came. They took his ID. One guard opened the glass door and pushed Daniel outside. His small bag was thrown after him. The big glass door closed behind him with a soft click, but in his heart it sounded like a loud slam. Outside, the sky was dark. It started to rain. Daniel stood on the steps, wet, shaking. People in suits walked past him with umbrellas. No one stopped. He picked up his bag. One strap was torn. He whispered to himself, "What will I tell Mom? How will I buy her medicine?" He took a deep breath. He looked up at the tall building with Mr. Kane's name on it. "Okay," he said softly. "You threw me out like I am nothing. But I won't give up. One day, I will come back stronger. And you will remember my face, sir." He turned and walked away in the rain. Far above, in his warm office, Mr. Kane poured himself another cup of tea. He didn't think about the boy he had just fired. To him, it was just another poor worker. Just another piece of trash. But life was listening. And life never forgets. If you have ever seen someone treat a poor worker like this, did it make you angry inside? That night, Daniel reached home late. His clothes were still damp. His mother, lying on the bed, asked in a weak voice, "Beta, you are late today. Everything okay at work?" Daniel forced a smile. "Yes, Mama," he said. "Everything is fine." He walked into the tiny kitchen so she could not see his face. His eyes filled with tears. He held the edge of the sink and cried silently. His shoulders shook. In his mind, Mr. Kane's words kept repeating, "Trash. Replaceable. People like you." He wiped his face, took a deep breath, and came back. He sat beside his mother, held her hand gently, and said, "Don't worry about anything. I will handle it. I promise." But inside, he had no idea how. Outside their window, the city lights flickered. Somewhere in that city, rich people like Mr. Kane slept on soft beds. And in one small room, a fired office boy lay awake all night, staring at the ceiling, wondering if tomorrow he could still buy medicine for his mother. At that moment, Daniel thought he had lost everything. He didn't know that life was slowly turning. And far away. Mr. Kane had just taken the first step toward his own fall. But this is only the beginning. The next few weeks were very hard. Daniel went from office to office looking for work. "Sorry, we don't need anyone. We will call you. You are overqualified for office boy, underqualified for other work." No one called back. His shoes started to tear. His feet ached. Sometimes he ate only once a day so his mother and sister could eat. At night, when everyone slept, he sat near the window with an old phone in his hand. He watched free videos about business, delivery work, online skills. He whispered to himself, "If no one gives me a chance, I will create my own." He found a job washing dishes in a small restaurant. The pay was low, but he took it. He worked hard, never complained. The manager, an older man named Mr. Farid, watched him. One day, Mr. Farid said, "Daniel, you always come on time. You always work silently. You okay, son?" Daniel smiled softly. "I'm fine, sir. Just saving money. I want to start something one day." Mr. Farid nodded. "Good. Remember, being poor is not a shame. But staying where you are and giving up, that is the real shame." Those words gave Daniel strength. Month by month, he saved a little. He also started helping some office workers from nearby buildings. He delivered their documents, parcels, and small packages on his bicycle for a little extra money. One day, a man said, "You are always on time. You should start a delivery service. I will be your first client." A small light turned on in Daniel's mind. "Delivery service," he whispered to himself that night. "Why not? Slowly, with the small money he saved, he printed cheap flyers: Daniel's Fast Delivery, safe, on time, with respect. He knocked on office doors. Some laughed. Some ignored him. But a few kind ones said, "Okay, we'll try." He treated every client with respect. He never forgot how it felt to be shouted at and kicked out. Whenever he spoke to the guards, cleaners, or office boys, he was kind. He smiled, used their names, and thanked them. Years started to pass. His small delivery work grew. From a bicycle, he bought a second-hand motorbike. Then a small van on loan. Then 2 more. He hired other poor boys as drivers and helpers. He paid them fairly. He never insulted them. When they made mistakes, he corrected them calmly. In that same city, life was changing for Mr. Kane too, but in the opposite direction. At first, everything was great for him. He still shouted at staff. He still fired people easily. He still spent money like water. His company took big loans. He started risky projects. People warned him. "Sir, this plan is dangerous. We should be careful," one manager said. Mr. Kane snapped, "Don't teach me business. I built this company. You are just an employee." He did not listen. Then, one year, the market crashed. Some deals failed. A big client left. There were rumors about a legal case. Slowly, the company started losing money. Investors pulled out. Rich friends stopped answering his calls. He had to sell his big house to pay debts. His luxury car went next. Employees he had insulted for years left happily when they found better jobs. Grace, the girl who had once watched Daniel being fired, left too. As she packed her desk, she thought, "This is karma. I saw it coming." Mr. Kane moved into a small apartment on the edge of the city. He looked at himself in the mirror one night. There were lines on his face now. His hair had more gray. "How did this happen?" he whispered. "I was on top. Where did everything go?" But he knew the answer deep inside. He had treated people like dirt, and now life had turned. One day, his lawyer told him, "I'm sorry, Mr. Kane. The company is gone. You need to start over." Start over. 2 words he never thought he would hear. Weeks later, he sat with a small notepad, circling job ads. He never thought the rich boss would one day look for a job like a normal man. Most jobs needed skills he didn't have. Finally, one ad caught his eye. Personal driver needed. Good pay. Must be polite, well-mannered, and respectful. He stared at the words polite and respectful for a long time. He sighed. A driver. After all these years as a boss. But his stomach was empty. His pockets were almost empty too. He closed his eyes and whispered, "I have no choice." He called the number. A calm voice answered, "Yes, this is Daniel's Logistics and Delivery. How can I help you?" The name Daniel meant nothing to him. He had fired so many workers. He did not remember one poor office boy from years ago. The voice said, "Sir, send your details. We are hiring a personal driver for the CEO." Mr. Kane wrote his name on the form, Victor Kane. A few days later, inside a tall new building with a different name on the front, a secretary placed a file on a big desk. "Sir," she said to her boss, "this is the new driver's application." The boss looked up from his laptop. His office was bright, modern, and simple. On the wall behind him was a logo, Daniel Express, "We deliver with respect." He opened the file. His eyes moved slowly over the page. Name, Victor Kane. Age, 52. Previous job, CEO, Kane Enterprises. His hands went cold. He read the name again. Victor Kane. Memories crashed into his mind. a broken tea-cup, a bleeding finger. His own voice saying, "You're fired. You are trash." Daniel leaned back in his chair. His heart pounded. He looked out of the window at the city below. Life had brought Mr. Kane back into his world. Quietly, he said to himself, "So, this is how karma works." He pressed the intercom button. "Send him in," he told his secretary. Next, the driver meets his new boss. Mr. Kane sat in the waiting area outside the CEO's office. The chairs were simple but clean. The floor shone. He looked around. Workers moved quickly, but there was something different here. They smiled at the guards. They thanked the cleaning lady. No one shouted. He thought, strange. In my office, everyone was always scared. The secretary came out. "Mr. Kane? You can go in now." He stood up, smoothed his old worn-out shirt, and walked toward the door. His heart beat faster. "I am going to work as a driver," he thought, "for some rich young boss who will talk down to me." He entered the cabin. The room was bright. A big window. A simple wooden desk. A soft chair behind it. Behind the desk sat a man in his late 20s. Neat shirt. No tie. Sleeves rolled up. Calm face. For a moment, Mr. Kane did not recognize him. Time had passed. The skinny office boy was gone. Now there was a confident man with steady eyes. But Daniel recognized him the second he walked in. The same sharp jaw. The same proud walk. The same eyes that once looked at him like he was nothing. "Good morning, sir," Mr. Kane said, keeping his eyes down. "I am here for the driver job." Daniel watched him quietly for a few seconds. The room was very still. "Please sit," Daniel replied. His voice was calm. Mr. Kane sat. His hands were on his knees. He did not look up. He felt small. Daniel opened the file again and said, "Mr. Victor Kane, you were a CEO before." "Yes," Mr. Kane said, a little bitter. "I had some bad years." Daniel asked, "Why did you leave your old company?" Mr. Kane sighed. "The market was bad. People left. It's complicated." Daniel's eyes narrowed slightly. "Did you ever fire people?" he asked. "Junior staff? Office boys?" Mr. Kane shifted in his seat. "Of course. Many times. That is part of business. If people are not good enough, you remove them. Simple." The words felt heavy in the air. Daniel leaned forward. His voice dropped a little. "Do you remember firing an office boy," he said slowly, "for spilling a bit of tea on your table?" Mr. Kane frowned, confused. Daniel continued, "You said his life was cheaper than your table. You called him trash. Replaceable." Mr. Kane's mouth opened slightly. His mind tried to search old memories. So many faces. So many insults. He looked up. For the first time, he really looked at Daniel's face. The eyes. The shape of the jaw. The small scar near his thumb from the glass cut. His own voice from the past echoed in his head. "You're fired." He whispered, "No, it can't be." Daniel's eyes were calm, but there was pain behind them. "My name is Daniel," he said softly. "I was your office boy." Silence. The kind of silence that makes your chest hurt. Mr. Kane's heart dropped. He saw again the young boy on the floor, picking up broken pieces, bleeding. He saw himself shouting, throwing him out like garbage. His throat went dry. I didn't know," he stammered. "I mean, it was so long ago. I fire many people. I don't." He stopped. The truth tasted bitter. He finally said the words he had never said to anyone like Daniel before. "I am sorry." The proud CEO who once shouted at everyone now sat small in a simple chair, eyes wet, looking at the boy he had crushed years ago. Daniel watched him. Inside, old pain rose again. The rain. His mother's face. The shame. The hunger. He could throw Mr. Kane out right now. He could say, "You are trash. Leave." If you were in Daniel's place, what would you do? Daniel took a deep breath. "When you fired me," he said, "my mother was very sick. I had no money. I walked in the rain that day. I thought my life was over." Mr. Kane looked down. Tears fell on his hands. Daniel continued, "But that night I promised myself something. I promised that if I ever had power, I would never treat anyone the way you treated me." He stood up and walked to the window. "You see this company?" he said, looking out. "We started with a bicycle. Me, delivering small parcels. Now we have vans, drivers, employees. We deliver all over the city." He turned back to Mr. Kane. "My office boys sit in the same canteen as managers," Daniel said. "We don't shout at them. We don't call them trash. Because I remember what it feels like." Mr. Kane's shoulders shook. His pride was broken. "I lost everything," he whispered. "My company, my house, my friends. Maybe this is my punishment." He wiped his eyes with the back of his hand. "If you want to reject me, do it," he said quietly. "I deserve it. I was cruel. I was blind. I thought poor people had no feelings. That day I fired you. I didn't even think about your mother or your life. I am ashamed." One tear, then another, fell onto his old shirt. Daniel watched in silence. His own eyes were wet now. Then he said something that shocked Mr. Kane. "I am not going to reject you," Daniel said. Mr. Kane looked up sharply. You're not." Daniel shook his head. "No," he said. "You need work. You are not a CEO now. You are just a man who needs a job. I know how that feels." There was a long pause. "But," Daniel added, "I am not doing this to humiliate you. I am doing this to teach you what no one taught you before." Mr. Kane swallowed hard. "What do you mean?" Daniel walked back to his chair, sat down, and folded his hands. "You will be my driver," he said. "You will see how it feels to open the door for someone else. You will see how it feels to wait in the sun, to sit in traffic, to be spoken to as if you are less." He leaned forward. "But I will never insult you. I will never call you trash. I will treat you with respect. Because that is the difference between you and me." Those words hit deeper than any insult. Mr. Kane broke down. He covered his face with his hands and cried. "I don't deserve your kindness," he said. Daniel answered softly, "Maybe you don't. But people gave me kindness when I didn't deserve it too. My old restaurant boss, Mr. Farid, believed in me. Now, it's my turn to be better than the man you were that day." He stood up and walked over to Mr. Kane. He held out his hand. "Welcome to Daniel Express, Mr. Kane," he said. "Tomorrow you start." With shaking hands, Mr. Kane took his hand. "Thank you," he whispered. The next day, early morning, a shiny black car waited outside the office building. Mr. Kane stood beside it, in a simple driver's uniform. He watched workers walk in. Some looked at him with respect. The guards greeted him politely. He saw an office boy carry a stack of files. He stepped forward. "Hey, let me help you with that," Mr. Kane said. The boy smiled, surprised. "Thank you, sir." "Sir." A word he missed. But this time it felt different. Soon, Daniel came out of the building. Mr. Kane quickly opened the car door. "Good morning, sir," he said. Daniel smiled kindly. "Good morning, Mr. Kane." As the car moved through the city, their positions were completely reversed. The poor office boy had become the boss. The rich, arrogant CEO had become the driver. But inside that car, something else also changed. Respect, understanding, and maybe, slowly, forgiveness. That evening, after dropping Daniel home, Mr. Kane sat in the driver's seat for a long time, thinking. He looked up at the sky and whispered, "Thank you, God, for giving me a chance to change before it was too late." He thought of all the people he had insulted. "If I ever see them again," he said to himself, "I will say sorry. I will never treat anyone like that again." Karma had done its work. It did not kill him. It did something harder. It made him face himself. And Daniel? He went home to his mother, now healthier, and to Mia, who was studying in college because of his hard work. He hugged his mother and said, "Remember the boss who fired me that day? He works for us now." His mother looked shocked. "What did you do to him?" Daniel smiled gently. "I treated him the way I wish he had treated me." Her eyes filled with proud tears. "That is real success, my son," she said. "Not money. Not offices. A kind heart. Today you may be powerful, rich, or important. But never forget, the people you insult on your way up may be the same people you meet on your way down. Always treat everyone with respect, because money can lose its value. But your character? That is your true wealth.